Yes, Mr. Gomezulu.
Thank you, my lord. May I proceed? Sir, Brigadier Kiminda, as I've indicated that I wanted to confirm something, the version of accused number 2 in connection with the AVL.
Yes.
It is his version that on the 24th of June 2020, he was transported with a Toyota Fortuner from Pretoria to Boksburg Magistrate Court on the 24th, which is opposed to, which is different from what is reflecting from the AVL.
Yes, so I'm saying, my lord, no, it's I suppose perhaps it's mistaken, and I'll give a reason why I say maybe then it's mistaken. What I can say, my lord, is not correct. The Toyota Fortuner that was driven by Sergeant Mufane was at Benoni Police Garage for mechanical reason. The AVL shows that it was parked there. Now, the reason I'm saying perhaps it could be mistaken is that the vehicle that was used by the late Sergeant Mabena was a Toyota double cab, which was also white with a tent. So they look similar. 4 doors. The difference that the other one is a tent, the other one is a Fortuner. In fairness to the accused, my lord, that's what I can say. But the Toyota Fortuner was parked at the garage, and the AVL confirms that, my lord.
Uthi ke ummeli nge-24 ka June 2020 uNtanzi yena uthi uhandiswe ukusuka ePretoria ukuya eBoksburg, handiswa ngemoto eToyota Fortuner. Ubrigadier uthi cha, Toyota Fortuner yayikade isesiphoyiseni saseBenoni la kulungiswa khona imoto. Uthi mhlawumbe uNtanzi uphaze imoto ebekade ihamba ngo Mabena, umufi uMabena uthi bekade kuyi Toyota nayo i-double cab inetende emuva. Mhlawumbe uphazeme ecabanga ukuthi uhandiswa ngeFortuner ngoba nayo leyana imhlophe futhi i-double cab inetende. Mhlawumbe uphazamiswe yilokho ukuthi mhlawumbe le moto cishe zifana, kodwa i-Fortuner yayikade ingekho nge-24.
So when I say a tent, my lord, sorry, I'm referring to a white canopy. My apologies, I said a tent. So
Okay.
the white canopy. Yes.
Uma ekhuluma ngetende usho i-canopy ukuthi leya double cab yakaMabena yayikade ine-canopy.
So I just want to confirm that on the 24th, when he was transported, you were not present at Boksburg Court.
No, yes, no, I was not present, my lord.
Bowungekho ngisho ngalesikhathi ezebe ehanjiswa ukuya enkantolo yaseBoksburg nge-24 uthi yebo bengingekho.
There's an evidence by Constable Jonathan, which I would like to read it on record to confirm that Ntanzi was not mistaken with another motor vehicle. Can I read it for you?
Yes, my lord, counsel can, but what I can say, the Toyota Fortuner, it's a fact. You can't so how the AVL works, my lord, it's almost like a network towers. It's electronic. I'm not sure how one can manipulate it. Human beings perhaps can make mistakes.
Objection, my lord. He's not an expert when it comes to AVLs and all those. He's not an expert. What I was actually putting to him cannot be justified by an expert opinion. If this witness is not an expert, may I read it for record?
Yeah, fine. If it may please the court, my lordship, it is the record of proceedings of the 30th of October 2023, and it was cross-examination by Mr. Mgomezulu of Mr. Jonathan of EMPD SWAT. And at page 16, line 10, Mr. Mgomezulu asks, and I quote, "Okay, so where did you travel from there?" Those quotes, and Mr. Jonathan answers, and I quote, "From the vehicles, my lord, the suspect was in handcuffs. He was placed in a Toyota Fortuner of Sergeant Mohani, and then from Boksburg Magistrates Court we conducted an escort straight to Moot SAPS. And on the same date of the record of the 30th of October 2023, this was now cross-examination by Advocate Mshololo. At page 64 of the record, Ms. Mshololo asks, yes, Boksburg Magistrates Court to and from, and Mr. Jonathan answers, in the Fortuna of Investigating Officer Mohani, those codes. Those are the two codes, my lord, as the purposes.
Okay. Thank you, my lord. From the record, as they speak for themselves, this cannot be a mistake by Ntanzi, mistaking a Toyota Fortuna with the motor vehicle you just mentioned. It is on record by a witness who escorted that motor vehicle from Pretoria to Boksburg, and it is your evidence that you were not present on that day.
Yes, my lord, but those two witnesses are also not expert in vehicles, my lord. They are human beings. They can make a mistake. Those cars are similar. What is factually correct with evidence is that the AVL shows that the vehicle was parked at the garage. It shows it. There's no dispute about it. I think it's parked there from the 22nd.
There's no dispute.
Well,
I'm saying, when you say there's no dispute, who testified as to that?
I'm being told that I'm taking it from counsel that the AVL expert has indicated. So I'm saying, in terms of the expertise, my lord, that if the AVL shows that the vehicle is parked at a particular place,
yeah, all right.
It's that shouldn't be a dispute, unless, of course, then those expertise are being challenged, my lord.
Okay, fine, no problem.
It's the same question that I posed on Mr. Dupree's, on these two questions that I just put to you now, and he did not comment or denied. He never commented, let me put it that way. He was an expert. He gave evidence of an expert.
On which part, my lord, if I can understand which part counsel is referring to?
I'm referring to the records that were read now to you or for the court. These records were read to Mr. Dupree's to confirm, to rebut his evidence of saying that motor vehicle was stationed at Benoni. May I move on?
Yes.
I just want to point out that our recollection is that Mr. Dupree did confirm that the AVL records show that the car was stationary at the Benoni garage.
Yes, let's move on. Okay.
Let's move on. Thank you, my lord. I just want to clarify something before I rest. Yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, you said accused number 2 signed the plea bargaining agreement, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, my lord, I think I said, according to my recollection, it did, but that will be an avenue that will be best dealt with by, I think, the prosecution. I know there was such engagement in terms of Section 105A, but those engagements were between, when I say us as the state, but in particular, my lord, I think Advocate Baloyi will be in a better position.
Okay.
Manje ke iphoyisa uJonathan liye lachaza uma lihlonywa imibuzo nge-30 zika June ukuthi niyena yaphi ukusuka esiphoyiseni ngalelo langa. Yena uye wachaza ukuthi bekade elandela imoto iToyota Fortuna. Ukhulume kabini uma ebuzwa ummeli wakho, ebuzwa futhi na ummeli wamangalelwa wesihlanu. Futhi ke uma kuqhutshekwa ke uyabuza ke ummeli wakho ukuthi le yancwadi le athi bekade ninesivumelwano noma ucele ukuthi nibe nesivumelwano sokuthi wena uzoba ufakazi into ezinjalo. Uthi yabuza ke ukuthi yeyasayinwa na. Uthi ubrigadier leyo ncwadi leyo ucabanga ukuthi umuntu ongaba nalolo lwazi kakhulu umshushisi. Leyana yaka Jonathan uthi ayikho into angayisho njengoba noNgodi naye kuthiwa waye engenampendulo, kodwa umshushisi uthi uNgodi uthe leya moto yayikade imile. ngalelo langa.
My Lord, before as I've concluded, this
Okay.
is the last question for this witness, but we had a discussion with my colleagues, and I spoke to the SAPC
SABC. Yeah.
for the application. Yes. I spoke to the SAPC regarding the recordings of the 27th of October 2020. There are certain formalities that we need to comply with.
But you must make those arrangements, because if you want to use it, you must make those.
I'm just making
Because this court,
Yes.
on record, this gentleman, Brigadier Gananda, says he was in court on that day, and what you put to him to say that your client, when he was appearing in the regional court, he drew the attention of the magistrate to say that I don't want this gentleman to represent me. Then the magistrate says, I can't listen to you because you are represented. And Gananda says that never happened. So if you want to counter that, go ahead. I don't have a problem with it. Okay. But
Thank
that's
you.
the evidence which is on record.
All right. Nice.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, man.
Right. Ciao. Yes.
And accused number 1 is an execution, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi, you say?
As a court, this one, we just earlier on raised an objection against the question that was put to the witness that Mr. Dupree never commented when it was put to
Oh,
him.
Mr. Dupree.
Yeah,
I recall
About the
Mr.
vehicle
Dupree's
being-
evidence.
parked at Benoni Garage on the 24th of June 2020.
Right.
In fact, he did comment as per the record of the 16th of November
16th
23.
November. Okay.
It's page 36.
Page 36.
And his evidence was as follows.
For a couple of days.
Line 15, I think, says, this one the state was leading him. Said, my lord, on the 24th of June, this vehicle was at the Benoni Garage near Great North Road in North Mid Benoni for the entire day.
Okay. All right. Okay. He's quoting the record, unless you say the record is wrong.
No, I don't say it's wrong.
What are you-
I'm just correcting my colleague to
Oh, I
say,
see.
as he has placed it on record, that he was leading at that time when he placed that evidence. Then I rebutted that evidence during cross-examination.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Munisi, any questions for the witness?
I certainly do have questions, my lord, but preliminary, there are issues that I would like to bring to the attention of the court.
Which issues are those now?
My colleague, Mr. Ngomezulu, has indicated that there is information that we had a discussion about. It is true. We had a look at the video that it is, which is in his phone's where is played in his phone. So it is imperative in our mind, and we are going to make that application. Then it is relevant.
It's a video in whose possession?
Mr. Ngomezulu has got it in his phone.
Yeah, so?
I'm saying Mr.
Yeah,
Ngomezulu has
I'm
got it in
listening.
his phone,
Yes,
and he showed us that clip,
yes,
part of what happened at Bosbeck Magistrate Court,
yes.
which is relevant to the question of whether or not Mr. Ntanzi refuted the fact that he owes no allegiance to Mr. Mjaiya.
Okay. Mjayako.
Mr. Mjayako, yes, the attorney, or the alleged attorney in
Okay.
question. We have formulated a very a concentrated mind around the existence of that video, and our formulation is to the effect that it is very relevant to the testimony that this witness, that Brigadier Kindinda, has just rendered to this court, insofar as Mr. Mchayeko having represented accused number 2.
Okay.
As I am about to start with my cross-examination, I feel a little bit constrained to start with it because I also need to refer to that video, because part of my cross-examination, my lord, is going to boil around the mandate or the power of attorney that Mr. Mchaiya, or the attorney, yes.
Mchayeko.
Mr. Mchayeko, yes, is going to boil around the mandate or the power of attorney that Mr. Mchayeko had to represent accused number 2, because the court would then, mindful of the fact that throughout the cross-examination of Brigadier Kindinda, has been put to him that no, he had no mandate to represent him. But the video that my colleague has testified, has brought to the court's attention to, and also indicated that he wants to make an application that it be played here in court, is central to that assertion.
Yes.
I am therefore saying to this court, my lord, that
So you've got a video now.
yes, it is there.
It's going to be shown on the screen.
I'm not so sure whether
Because you're talking about a cell phone.
that it can be
I've
shown on
never
the
heard of
screen. If it does,
Of
we
a
don't have a
judge
problem.
looking at
We
a
can
cell
show it.
phone, like I'm a member of a social club.
Excuse me.
I say I've never heard a judge perusing a cell phone
Yes.
as if I'm a member of a social club.
What I was just about to say, my lord, is that you are still making arrangement.
No,
that if it's possible,
I long
then it should be played on
responded
the,
to
on the
Mr.
big screen.
Mchayeko that, Mr. Mgomezulu, that he's at liberty to show that video. And
Yes.
I said, he must also address me in the same vein, whether that's evidence, playing a video, whether it's evidence of a court. That's all. Didn't I say that, sir? Can play that video. No problem.
Yes, my lord, I do understand, but what I'm saying is, if the court then is amenable to the suggestion that that video can be played here and now, we can, with the leave of court, of course, we can request
going
an
to play that
adjournment
video?
that the necessary arrangement be made that it
Oh,
be shown
she's-
there, and we lay the basis why it should be paid.
Look, I've
Yes.
considered that you may play that video.
As it
It's
is
not
the
that
court.
this court says you can't.
Yes.
I say you can play that video, but me, I still have to find out whether the law in South Africa says a video recording is
Yes.
part of the evidence of a court. That's all I said.
As I'm saying, my lord,
Yeah.
we would lay the basis
Yes.
why it should be, or it should form part of the record of the proceedings of
Yes,
this court.
no problem, no
Thank you, my
problem,
lord. May
no
I
problem.
then be given the opportunity to have a little caucus with our colleague in preparation for the playing of that video as well?
Okay, Mr. Baloyi.
Thank you.
My lord, the state is going to object
You see now.
to the playing of that video. There's only one way of proving court proceedings in section 235. Make provision-
215.
No, 235.
235, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, 235 makes provision of how court proceedings should be proven.
Yeah, I've got a judgment on this.
We've handed up Exhibit EE that shows the proceedings at Boksburg Magistrate Court. The only other way, my lord, is to get the CD in question. We know that these videos can be manipulated. So we're not saying that is a position. But the only way of proving court proceedings will be to get the official recording of the proceedings.
Yes, you hear your colleague.
Reply there too. I just skipped my mind to address the court on the record of the, on the transcribed record of the proceedings.
You okay, yes?
We had actually requested those records from the state. I think it was almost last year, September, October. We gave them a formal letter saying that, can you please furnish us with the transcribed record of the proceedings on that day? Because we well aware that the copy of a charge sheet that my colleague is referring to, which is Exhibit EE, that's a handwritten copy. And in that copy God forbid, magistrates do not write all that what is happening and being said at court. They are trained to write that which they think is necessary for that particular day, but a transcribed record reflects whatever that happens on that day verbatim.
I don't have
We
a
have
problem
not been
with it.
finished with that information as well.
So you're saying the state did not finish with it?
We made a request,
To the
we
state.
have not yet received it.
Did you write to the official transcriber of the court?
Excuse me, madam.
The official transcript as subscriber who records.
Is
these
the court
proceedings?
asking whether we wrote to him or?
Yes, instead of writing to the state alone, did you also write to the firm?
We did not, my lord,
Why
simply
not?
because the impression given by the state was that that would be made available to us.
Okay, so
The court
you,
did not give us an alternative that in an event that you see 2 or 3 weeks elapsing and then you don't receive this information, you're welcome to approach the transcribers themselves. The state gave us a legitimate expectation that sooner or later we'll be finished with that information, and it didn't. And that is very relevant and is crucial to what is now taking place in this trial, within a trial, particularly with regard to
No, fine.
the issue of Mr. Mziako.
okay, no problem.
Mziako.
So what do we do, Mr. Baloyi?
Thank you.
And you, how do you go about it?
Well,
To obtain the record of that day.
To start with, my lord, we don't want to start a debate, but the utterances by Advocate Mnisi are not correct. The only discussion that we had was with Mr. Ramusipile, and he was merely inquiring if there is a transcribed record, and we indicated to him that this is the transcribed. Or the only record of the proceedings that we have for Exhibit EE. And
Is it in cursive?
yeah.
It's not typed.
Well, we handed both the transcribed as well as the handwritten record.
So you've got a transcribed
Yes.
record.
Well, yes, it's the transcribed one, and we also handed up the
So what is the problem if you've got it transcribed? Why don't you give it to the council?
the handwritten one. Well,
So there are two.
yes, there are two, my lord. It's Exhibit EE in a transcribed form, and we also handed up the handwritten.
Exhibit EE
Yes,
in a transcribed form.
yes,
You gave it to the councils here.
yes,
So they have it.
yes. It serves as an exhibit, my lord.
So it's a transcribed, and that transcription is by the official recorder of the court.
Indeed, my lord.
Okay, and then the other one you say it's a written record.
Yes.
Is that the one of the magistrate
Yes.
when she was sitting?
Yes, the handwritten one.
So you all of, so all of you, you've got the records of what happened that day. The only thing maybe you don't have is the clip, but they say Mr. Mgomezulu has got it in his phone in his cell phone. Is that what you're saying?
May I respond? I think Mr. Baloyi is missing the point when you say he finished us with the transcribed record. Transcription must be from the legitimate transcribers. What he gave us was a copy that was written in shorthand and a typed version of what is contained in the shorthand. There's no transcription. There's no transcription. There's no record that is transcribed. It's only a record that is written in shorthand, which is this one, and a record that is a typed version of what is contained in the in the record which is written in a shorthand.
And that-
don't have a transcribed record unless he has got it
Let
and
me
wants to share.
can you show the court what you
share
call
it
exhibit
with
what?
us.
EE.
It's
Is
Exhibit
it?
EE.
Just show me the exhibit EE.
Well, it's the
Let's see.
part of it.
Let's see.
ngamafuphi ke madoda okwenzakalayo ukuthi ummeli usukuma uthi unayo imibuzo angathanda ukuyibuza uBrigadier Mgininda, kodwa bakhulumile njengabameli angathanda ukuthi leya video le ebonisa uNtanzi ephakamisa isandla ethi yena akamfunile yamnendo yakhe angathanda ukuthi idlalwe ngaphambi kokuthi abuze imibuzo manje ingathi abazange bathole amaphepha lawa awaneliya ngaleliya langa la ukuthi bewakade ethayipiwe kodwa umshushisi uthi banikiwe lawo maphepha lawo manje kusanaleyo ndaba yokuthi banikwa bawathola zange bawathole noma kanjani.
I think, my lord, to just cut this debate short, we will get we'll get in touch with the Boksburg Magistrate Court and see if we cannot get a CD of those proceedings. Then we can always...
Who was the magistrate that day? Havenga?
Havenga, yes.
Is he still a magistrate?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, then the court will have to call him. Is he still a magistrate?
Well, I assume so, my lord.
Well, you assume.
Yeah, I'll have to check.
Yeah. So he was the presiding magistrate.
Indeed.
And who was the prosecutor?
That's myself.
Right, and who was the interpreter?
The interpreter cannot remember. I think it's the lady. The lady.
Ms. Mufokeng?
Yes.
Is that the lady?
Testified. Yes.
Okay, let's call.
Mutlaping,
Let's
yes.
call Mr. Havenga. Is it a lady or a gentleman? The magistrate.
It's a gentleman.
It's a gentleman.
Yes.
Right. And obviously, you can give evidence. And then the interpreter is still around.
Yes, it's Ms. Mutlaping. We'll just have to check. There were various appearances.
Yeah.
And we just have to check.
I thought. Wait. I thought it's in connection with the first appearance. Is that not so, Mr. Mnisi?
That's correct.
The first appearance in the regional court. Hello,
Yes.
27.
27 October.
Is that it? Are we agreed on that? Can you make arrangements for the...
Yes.
You know what? Actually, you must issue an official subpoena
Yes.
for Mr. Havenga and the interpreter, an official subpoena through the process of the court. So that if this case goes somewhere else, they must know that this court ordered that they must be subpoenaed. So that what they say must be part of the record of these proceedings. Okay.
As a court, please, but perhaps we're going to suggest that we first get the disc. And
Yeah, fine.
We all listen to it, and perhaps it might not be necessary for Mr. Havenga to come and testify. But
Okay.
if those issues cannot
But
be
Mr.
resolved,
Mnisi says he doesn't want to begin anything without having seen that video. He says he can't.
I said I'm constrained by that.
Yeah, constraint is an English way of saying I won't do it.
No.
I understand
I said I'm
English very well.
constrained,
I've got
hamstrung.
4 courses in English. 4. So you're constrained. Ngeke ngiyenze leyo nto. That's what you're saying.
Thank you, my God.
So you won't cross-examine before.
I'm sorry, madam. I missed the point of the transcript record. Are we going to be provided with the transcript record?
Which court are you attending, Ms. Msholod?
My lord, I was
We've been talking here, everybody's listening, and you haven't heard anything.
My apologies.
Oh, no.
That's why so that we can be able to engage the state on that order, that we must be provided with the transcript record.
Mr. Baloyi, when are you going to make the arrangements of getting the disc, as you say?
yes, we will commence with those arrangements immediately, and I'll get in touch with my colleagues. I'm sure it can be done overnight.
But in the meantime, Mr. Mnisi, can you continue with your cross-examination and reserve the cross-examination of the video or the recording clip? Is it possible?
My cross-examination, my lord, was basically central. The nucleus of my cross-examination was around Mchalia and the mandate that we had. Thank you.
So, Mr. Ngomezulu, you say you've got that video clip. Where did you get it from? Hello?
It was just a clip from TikTok.
What? Yeah, this is why I'm having problems with evidence being gleaned from TikTok.
That's why I wanted to make it a formal request from SAPC.
Who's the gentleman in charge of that contraption, the recording of the proceedings? Was it the same firm which was in charge in Boksburg on the 27th of April?
Yes.
Hello?
I don't remember offhand, my lord.
Yeah.
But I should be with verbatim or Sneller.
Sneller or?
Yeah, verbatim, one of those companies. But that we can find out, my lord.
So what is the dispute about? Is that the fact that the gentleman, Mr. Gomezulu, put it to this court that in fact accused number 2 raised an objection in court to say he doesn't want this
Mr. Mjiako.
to act for him on the 27th.
Yes.
Did Mr. Mjiako subsequently also act, for instance, on the 28th, 9,
Yes.
10? Hello?
This is what is strange, you know, he did
Yeah,
appear
because
in
if I chase and fire a lawyer today,
in subsequent
and then he comes
proceedings.
again, I fire him again
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
It must be common sense.
Yes,
So did he subsequently also appear?
Yes, but
And even went to Rustenburg,
yeah,
appearing and cocaine also.
yes,
Is that the evidence you have of you?
yes, I think on the court will see on Exhibit EE, after the 27th, he did appear at subsequent proceedings, and he then submitted a letter. A letter was submitted on his behalf, indicating that he was withdrawing from the proceedings. But that was after the appearance of the 27th of October.
Wait, yeah.
The court will see on the 27th, the
Yeah.
accused refused to enter the witness box.
He refused to enter
Yes.
the witness's box.
Yes, I'm sorry, the accused box
Sorry, okay, yeah.
on the 27th.
Objection, my lord, I don't know whether the stage is testifying.
No,
No, but this
it's
is
not.
this is
This is what is recorded here.
It's
Digital,
exhibit
wait. Digital recording. All accused refuse to enter accused doc. This is written by a magistrate. He's not giving evidence, gentlemen. Rights to legal aid, legal representation, explained. Accused number 1 refuses to respond. Accused number 3, I don't know why I am here. Our constitutional rights are not being considered. Accused number 4, I do not see the necessity of having an attorney. Accused number 5, I also do not see the need. Then it is signed by additional magistrate Havenga. That's what the record says.
And I think on behalf of accused number 2, there's an entry there that Mr. Mjiako
What about it?
appears on behalf of accused number 2 on the 27th.
On the 27th.
I don't have the
No, I have it here.
exhibit. with me.
Date, the 27th October 2020, presiding officer Mr. H. Havenga, public prosecutor advocate G. Baloyi, interpreter Madam Mashaba, defense, accused 1 in person, accused 2, Mr. Ntokozo Mjiako of Mjiako Attorneys, accused 3 in person, accused 4 in person, accused 5 in person. This is the record of the just give it. Hello, Rose. Give it because they will see also.
They do have the exhibit, my lord.
No, they said they don't have these things. Just give them.
I confirm on behalf of accused 1 and 2, we do have exhibit EE. We are privy to
Were you in court, sir,
on
that day?
the 27th. No, I was not on record.
Because the magistrate says there was only one attorney, Mr. Mjiako, for accused number 2. I mean, the record of the proceedings says so. It's not me. I'm
But-
reading.
Like Mr. Advocate Munisia said, my lord, and I stand by that. That's the summation of the magistrate of what transpired that day. The actual transcribed record will show us behind those answers.
No,
were
fine. No.
explanations.
Look, I don't have a problem.
Yes.
I just find it strange that here is a magistrate who knows a bit of the law, or the law, he knows it better than me. He makes in the record, he writes that accused number 1 does not want to cooperate. And here, when accused number 2 is firing his lawyer, he doesn't write that. Just read that. He talks about accused number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And the most important thing, where accused number 2 fires Mr. Mjiako, he doesn't note it. I'm just saying it's strange to me.
Let's then agree with the state that the actual CD will tell us what transpired.
Fine, yeah.
Yes.
But you guys say you can't proceed because the film is not being seen. And you know, Alu, how many years are these discs supposed to be kept? Because which year was it?
2020 is 2024. Usually, according to the Archives Act, I think it's about 5 years or so.
5 years.
They should still be available.
Okay, fine. So you want us to adjourn?
It is actually not a want, my lord.
Of course, it's a want. We are constrained. And you want us to adjourn because you can't participate in the proceedings without first having viewed the video. That's what I thought you said.
It's a request that can be made before the court.
Okay, let's adjourn until tomorrow. So what are you going to do when you adjourn here?
We'll immediately get on the phone, my lord, and make the arrangements and try to get this here tomorrow.
And accused number 2 is raising his hand, my lord. Manje,
May I approach?
Yeah.
ummeli uthe uzwa ingathi kuzoba likhulu ukuthi abuze imibuzo leya video ingakadlali. Futhi ijaji libele lifunda izinto ezenzakelele nge-27 zika-October ku-2020 ezabhalwa enkantolo. Eyikuthi lezo zinto ijaji bekade izifunda manje. Ithi into emangazayo ukuthi la ummangalelo wesibini athi akasafuni Mjiako. Loya manje akabhalanga. Yingani leyo nto engabhalwanga kodwa zonke izinto zibhaliwe. Hlangana nokuthi kubhalwe nokuthi nina naningafuni ukungena ebhokisini. Kodwa le eyokuthi Mjiako akasafuna kungani ingabhalwanga. Manje ke ingathi manje kusakhulunywa ukuthi icala liyahlehliswa lihlethiselwa kusasa. Manje ithi njengoba bokade ukhuluma sazi ukuthi uya ikhona into afuna ukuyisho bese inkantolo iyasichazisela ukuthi senzeni.
And then all counsels, including Mr. Baloyi himself also, all counsels, this court orders that you must prepare heads of argument regarding the fact whether a video televised process in this court is evidence in terms of our law. Okay? All of you, tomorrow, you must come with a heads of argument.
My lord, accused number 2 is requesting to remain just for 10 minutes. He wants to consult with us.
No problem.
Yes.
We are adjourned until tomorrow. Okay. Thanks.
Icala lihlethiselwa kusasa.
Tomorrow then at 10 o'clock.